Well, hello there. We're hitting a very barren time for RPGs and games alike, and I thought it'd be a perfect time to try something new, and I've always wanted to do this news-style series, so here we go. What RPG news was there this week? Well, a lot of MMO news and some updates to some announced projects, so let's get into it. The big one this week is Blizzard's announcement of the new World of Warcraft expansion, Dragonflight. This expansion takes place in the previously hidden ancient lands of Dragon Isles. Quote, Dragon Isles was once the center of the Dragon's Kingdom where the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. When the Legion invaded in the Wars of the Ancient and the Great Sundering broke the world... I'm sick of this lore already.
This is boring.
A quick breakdown of what's actually coming in this expansion is the level cap will be increased to 70. There is a new playable race, the Drakthea. I don't know how to pronounce that. Obviously, they're dragons. They start at level 58. They wear mail armor. They will have their own starting zone and their own unique class, the Evoker, which you can only be if you are one of these new races. There's going to be new mounts. They're obviously going to be dragons. The new zones. There are 4 new zones and 1 new starter zone, and they're overhauling a bunch of existing systems, including the HUD or the UI, a new talent system, and professions are also going to get through an update as well. There's no official date for the expansion, and you can't pre-order it yet either, which is surprising because Activision Blizzard love money, so I wouldn't be expecting this one to release anytime this year. Some sad news for about 200 people still playing this one is the MMO Tera will be turning its lights off for good. Developer Bluehole announced this week that the servers will shut down permanently on June 30th. Gameforge, the publisher, said that after careful deliberations, the developers of Tera, Bluehole, have unfortunately taken the difficult decision to end development of the game, as they feel that there is no longer able to provide the satisfying content that Tera players deserve. Instead, they would like to focus their internal development efforts on other projects. I can't imagine that there are many of you still playing Tera, as the player base on Steam charts is like well under 200 most of the time, and I used to play Tera back in the day. Its action combat was definitely a standout, and it's the only MMO that I've been able to get my partner to enjoy for more than 5 minutes. It's a shame that this one is going to be gone for good in a couple of months, just like WildStar. Please bring back WildStar. Blizzard also announced this week that they don't, in fact, have phones. Diablo Immortal was given a release date and a PC version was also announced. Blizzard announced during the Diablo Immortal livestream that Diablo Immortal would finally release on June 2nd on iOS and Android, with a PC beta launching on the same day. The game will support crossplay and cross-save, and it will have the typical PC controls that you would expect from a Diablo game on PC. I was invited into the closed alpha last year for Diablo Immortal, and I did put out a video last year with my thoughts on the game. It's actually surprisingly not that bad. Now with the PC release coming, it might be worth checking out this free-to-play Diablo game coming out in June. Do you remember Outriders? It was only released last year, but it feels like a lifetime ago. People Can Fly announced the Worldslayer expansion. This is a paid expansion that will add a new campaign, a new progression system, and new endgame content. Quote, the new expansion will focus on Outrider facing against Ereshkigal, phonetically Ereshkigal. I love that they put that in brackets for people like me who can't read anything. The commander of a new human faction called the Insurgents, against the backdrop of Inox's climate undergoing cataclysmic changes, end quote. The new progression system includes 2 new mechanics: PAX trees, not the gaming convention, its whole new thing, and the Ascension system. The PAX trees are an extension of the existing class tree system with new nodes to unlock with the new PAX points, and they are 2 different trees per class for the new PAX tree system. The Ascension system unlocks at max level of 30, and it is described as a, quote, a new long-term progression system called Ascension. Continued Ascension by itself does not unlock or gate better gear or content. The Ascension system is currently balanced so that it would take you 100+ hours to fully complete it. Leveling up Ascension is done by collecting experience by killing enemies. It is only available from character level 30 onwards and with the Worldslayer installed, end quote. The expansion also contains new enemies, new gear, a 3rd mod slot for that gear, and the existing endgame will be expanded into a new endgame content centered around the new expansion, which further details will be revealed in the next Outriders broadcast. So what came out this week? Well, not much in terms of game releases and delays. Shinobi did get a new update and DLC. Shinobi is a dystopian survival horror RPG that's heavily inspired by Stalker, and it has released an enhanced edition onto the Xbox Series X and PS5, which will add ray tracing and 4K versions to that console, as well as a new Blue Flames DLC that just was released. Shinobi is worth checking out. I did play it at launch, and it has a very Stalker or Fallout kind of theme with its post-apocalyptic, and it has a little bit more horror elements to it. And with a DLC roadmap announced for more free and paid content, the future looks pretty bright for this one. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous released their second DLC, Through the Ashes. This is a self-contained mini campaign for low-level characters. It adds 2 new companions to the game, as well as its own campaign and storyline. This is the second DLC for all of the DLC that we have been made aware of with Pathfinder, and a second season of DLC has also been announced. Achilles Legends Untold announced this week that their early access would begin on May 12th. Achilles Legends Untold is an isometric Souls-like action RPG featuring co-op. I've been curious about this one for a while, and it'll be interesting to see how the early access goes. I'll definitely be picking this one up when it does release and let you know how I think about it. And Baldur's Gate 3 officially launches in 2023. I did make a video last year saying I thought it was 2022, so unfortunately I was wrong. But in a dev diary with Dungeons & Dragons last week, Larian Studios did announce that Baldur's Gate 3 would officially be launching in 2023 with more early access content coming throughout this year. That's all for game releases and new dates for this week, as there isn't really much happening in the world of RPGs or games in general, really. It's a perfect time to check out that backlog. I myself am trying to finish off the Horizon Forbidden West trophies and trying to spend some time in LEGO The Skywalker Saga. The game of the week for this week is another MMO, and that is the Lord of the Rings Online. They have just launched their 15th anniversary update, which gives you basically, I don't know, most of the game for free, just free to play for playing the game. And this game has been out for a long time. It is their 15th anniversary. It hasn't aged as gracefully as World of Warcraft has with all of its updates, but if you're looking to return to an MMO that has a very classical style that is within the Lord of the Rings universe, which I absolutely love Lord of the Rings. I'm currently rereading the books, and I've been watching the Hobbit trilogy for the second time ever. It's actually not that bad, surprisingly. But because I'm on this Lord of the Rings binge, I decided to jump into the MMO and check it out for probably the first time I've really given it some time of day. And while it is a bit old and archaic, there is still a lot of fun to be had here, especially with the lore. And I just love Lord of the Rings, man. It's just a fun time to check out. So we're going to give this format a try of a news style videos that we'll start doing. Let me know in the comments down below whether you like it, dislike it, what would you change, what would you add. This series will evolve based on your feedback, and it may stop altogether based on your feedback as well. Who knows? Thank you for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norzza, and I hope you have a great day.